Uncertainty Certainly Concentrated Corporate Control and Carmen Bain by Pierce Casturo. A presentation on the presentations by Dr. Glenn Stone, Ms. Hope Shand, and Dr. Carmen Bain. Our first presenter is Dr. Glenn Stone, Professor of Sociocultural Anthropology at Washington University in St. Louis. His research focuses on environmental anthropology, political ecology, food studies, and science and technology studies. Dr. Stone's presentation was not very emotional. He presented his argument with an ordered approach showing scientific data to back up his claims. Dr. Stone seemed to be pro-technology but had a measured approach. His presentation focused on the following: uncertainty in science and how chipping away at certainty is dangerous for the industry of science. The extreme positions develop an economy of exasperation, how certainty is being sold, and how certainty claims by both sides, the anti-GM and pro-GM, with their statements such as genetically modified food is toxic or genetically modified crops will prevent world hunger. Some questions moving forward that he suggested were: do the benefits of reduced spraying come at the cost of exacerbated problems in trialability? And where the system is headed in the long term? Are we going to be jumping off the hybrid seeds treadmill or the pesticides treadmill? Dr. Stone conducted research with Bt cotton farmers in India. In this slide, it is shown with two data sets how yields of cotton seem to increase 6 years before the adoption of the Bt version. Our second presenter is Mrs. Hope Shand. She is an independent consultant and senior advisor at the Erosion Technology and Concentration Group. She has written extensively on the topic of agricultural biodiversity and on the social and economic impacts of new biotechnologies. Ms. Shand also holds a master's degree in regional planning and population and development. Her presentation seemed almost like a warning for the future of the seed industry. While she presented with little emotion, her words seemed to be telling a new type of cartel. Her presentation spoke about the corporate concentration in the seed industry. As a rough benchmark, economists tell us that when 4 firms control 40% of the market, it is no longer competitive. Beyond the point where 4 firms control about 50% of the market, the concern is that there's a greater likelihood of anti-competitive conduct, and also that market concentration has a depressing effect on innovation. The Big Six, better known as Monsanto, BASF, Syngenta, Dow, Bayer, and DuPont, are all collaborators in a tightly concentrated market. They also have cross-licensing. 3 of the companies account for 72% of all U.S. utility patent applications on plant varieties. This is Monsanto's, Syngenta, and DuPont. The Big Six control the future of agriculture. In this slide, you can see how the Big Six are interconnected and the size of their respective market shares. Our third and final presenter is Dr. Carmen Bain, Associate Professor of Sociology at Iowa State University. Dr. Bain teaches undergraduate and graduate classes in the sociology of agriculture and food systems, the sociology of the environment, and rural sociology. Her research interests include the political economy of food and agricultural systems, gender, agriculture, and international development, and the social dimensions of genetically modified foods and crops. She has conducted research in Chile, Ghana, New Zealand, and the United States. Dr. Bain's presentation seemed to be in favor of biotechnology while taking a look at the labeling of GMO products, and her presentation seemed to have valid scientific data to back up her claims. She did, however, direct some frustration towards the information that has been disseminated by detractors of GE technology. Some of the main topics focused on during her presentation were the social acceptance issues surrounding GMOs, political consumerism, and labeling. Some of the conclusions Dr. Bain drew were that normal science and science education cannot solve the problem of GMOs, but can help inform its management. Also, developing a strategy for facilitating dialogue that can identify better or worse outcomes, not right or wrong, and identify issues of consensus. And lastly, reducing scientific uncertainty will not reduce political and social uncertainty. That's been my presentation. Thanks.